welcome back to K Talk. I'm your host, Mel.
And I'm Uma. On this week's after show, we are diving right back into When the Phone Rings. On today's episode, we're going to cover episodes 3 to 6.
Yeah.
Yeah. How are you feeling?
I have a lot of feelings. This show
I can tell.
It's a silly show.
Yeah,
It's a very silly show.
Our romantic thriller just became full rom-com.
Yeah.
Like,
it's a comedy at this point for me.
Oh, no.
It is. Because it's nothing that I expected it to be honest.
It just kind of went left.
Yeah. So diving right in, we left episode 2. The explosion happens. He comes home. He's suspicious of Heejoo. He pushes her up against the table and he wants to find the mark.
Yes, he's looking for the birthmark.
Yes. Well, he's not successful because he doesn't end up doing that. Yeah.
For once, she was actually like really, really quick on her feet because she was like, what are you looking for?
Yeah.
Like, you know,
like get off.
But yeah,
What's
she handled it.
What's going on here? Yeah, because she made it, it's like, we don't do this. So she, it's like, we don't do this. Get up off me. What are we doing?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mind you, though, like she still doesn't have a grasp on episodes. Like by the time we get back into it, like 3 and 4, she has no grasp. She's still not a good negotiator. She's not a good kidnapper.
She's not.
She still
That's
sucks at it very much.
The thing for me was the explosion happens. The crazy thing is, like, how did no one die?
First of all,
not even the guy that opened the package.
Thank you. When his right hand secretary guy, his bodyguard, whatever he is, came and said, thankfully nobody's hurt, just the equipment is done for. I said,
yeah.
Did you not see that explosion? Did we not get an outside view?
We did.
Did it not look like it blew out the whole corner of the building?
Yes.
And everybody miraculously survived.
And you need to tell me the man that opened the bomb didn't even get injured, didn't die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little out there.
That's silly.
No, it gets sillier, but continue.
It does. Also, in episode 3, we kind of figure out a little bit about Sang-woo. He grew up in an orphanage.
Mm-hmm.
We find out. Yeah.
There's a rich kid that lives next to the orphanage, which at the beginning we were like, we think it's Seon.
Yeah, I thought 100%
Even though he's wearing that
Seon.
little mask, which is kind of creepy as hell.
Yeah.
But then you see, by the time we're like on episode 4 and 5, we see that kid wanted to gut the cat.
Yeah.
So I was like, the mask creepy psycho killer. Like, he's a sociopath.
Yeah. And yeah, so it's definitely not Seon. But we also find out that that was their son.
That is their original son,
That is their original son. And
now,
they kind of had to lock him away.
Yeah.
Because
and
he's
we
unwell.
agree that Seon is a replacement for their psycho killer kid because this is a well-known family, super ambitious, like just up there. They can't have a crazy child. So do you think that kid is dead or he's just still locked up? Or do we think he freed up and he's the kidnapper now?
That's what I was thinking. I think possibly he could be the kidnapper because the kidnapper seems kind of off. So
here's where I'm confused a little bit with that prediction, though. Then who's the twin brother?
They're saying, and I can kind of see it, that Dojae, his guy that works with Seon, could be the twin.
How did you get there?
And they're kind of like working together kind of thing.
You think?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because the kidnapper does have an accomplice.
Yes.
So you think it's Seon's right-hand guy?
Yeah.
His secretary?
Yeah. And that also makes sense why the kidnapper hates Seon so much, because he essentially took over his life, right? So that's why he hates him as well.
So a twin went missing. We think that twin is dead.
Yeah.
Right? The younger brother of the twin you're saying is a secretary. And we're saying the other kidnapper is original Seon.
Yes.
Okay.
But then also, how does Sang-woo fit into all this? I think he does have a part to play in this as well.
So far, I'm believing that Sang-woo just grew up in the orphanage and his story at face value is true. Like, I think he...
No, I believe that part, that he grew up in the orphanage, all of that. But I also feel like there's something
else that
off
he knows
about him
that
we just don't know yet.
Well, maybe he knows that the kid was crazy, the rich kid
No,
next door.
obviously,
And he's saying, like,
yeah.
the kids missing are tied to the rich people.
Yeah, he knows firsthand he's crazy because he was with him when he tried to kill the cat. You know? So, yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, that whole
I'm
part is
actually
crazy.
more into that part of this show.
Yeah.
Because everything
than
else
the rom-com?
Is it even a rom-com?
It's not, but...
honestly, like, it's just... At first, I was like, okay, I gave it a chance. I liked it. And then now it's just... There's nothing rom-com-y about it. She just comes off as this little timid, like 16-year-old girl vibes. And then you have Seon, who's very overpowering and is just, you know... Yeah, I don't see the chemistry. Like, you know what I mean? It's just...
I mean...
I'm not feeling that part of it.
I am, because I feel like these are two damaged people that were kind of put into this situation, and they were trying to make the best of it all, not realizing that deep down they might have feelings for each other that they didn't explore. Because we see in a lot of flashbacks that Seon was always looking out for Heeju when they were younger, right? Yeah. Like at family functions, whether she's by herself, when she was about to get like mauled by that dog, like a lot of flashbacks have shown that he's kind of always been aware of her, and he's had a soft spot for her, and he was always a bit protective of her.
Yeah, but okay, I understand that. But my thing is, even if, okay, the whole arranged thing, whatever, why didn't he show that? Like he knew firsthand as well. Like they both grew up in kind of like, you know, bad families. If he knew how she grew up as well, I felt like, why wasn't he kinder to her, softer to her, right? Like you would assume that.
And that's what we find out that Heeju, I guess, all the time wanted, essentially, because remember how in the beginning of their marriage, she tried to make dinner and tried to like make the best of the situation. Yeah. And he was like, I don't know what you're doing all of this for. Let's just, you know, coexist. Yeah. But we don't really have to do all of this. I think because the way he was raised and he knows he has this role to fulfill, I think he's made a deal with these people to kind of like, you know, replace their son. And he feels like he owes them. But I'm just saying, like, neither one of them can stand up to the people in their lives and are really not living freely
for themselves.
So how can they like hold up someone else? Yeah,
I get that. But I just wish that because he knew how she grew up, that he was just a bit more... You know, once they got into their own home, away from their families, I wish he would just show that a little bit more.
Yeah, and that's what we're seeing, though, and that's where you're feeling like it's getting a little silly, because now we see Seon being really jealous and kind of seeing her as a woman, and he doesn't like the attention that Sang-woo like pays
and
to
again,
her.
I feel like he only started doing
when
that
he knew there was competition.
Sang-woo came exactly.
Okay, and that's fine. Sometimes you need a little, you know, you need to be
that's
shaken
not
up a little bit.
To me, I'm sorry, it's not. It's like all of a sudden you see that I exist because another man's in the picture.
Something is always nicer when you feel like you're about to lose it or it's about to like be snatched away from you. You kind of realize, but no, I you know.
Yeah, and speaking of her trauma, we find out that why she became mute.
Oh my God, her mom.
Yeah,
so fucking evil.
Yeah, just because the other daughter becomes deaf,
right?
That means that she has to stop talking too.
I understand where the mother was coming from in her stupid little, you know, small-minded way of thinking, but she's a woman that is not in love with this man. She wants the life that he can provide, and rightfully, her stupid brain tells her that if his son died, his daughter. His biological daughter
so that's what I want to know.
Becomes deaf.
So that's what I want to know. So those two other siblings are just the man's children, right?
Yeah. And their mom must have like died or something.
And Heeju's the only one from
his second wife, which is this one. And she tells her like he's going through a lot right now. He lost his son and his daughter's deaf. You cannot come out of this accident like without a scratch. He's going to feel like, you know, it's too unfair and he might kick us out. So she essentially tells her, like, become mute so that we can all say collectively this accident affected all of the children. And there's nobody to kind of take his anger out on.
Yeah. So the kidnapper now, he keeps addressing her as sis to Heeju, but apparently that brother died. So what is that
I think, okay,
really
do you
about,
really,
right?
I think maybe that's just the you know, the very like a very familiar way of talking. I'm thinking like he keeps calling her uni because it's just the way you address to people that you're, I guess, in like intimate, close relationships with. But also at the same time, it leaves us thinking like, is he a real brother though? I don't know. I don't think he's really her brother because we literally, okay, now I'm confusing myself because we just said he is the original Seon. So how could he be her sister?
Exactly.
We
Again,
think he's the original Seon.
and that's why I was confused. Like,
I think he's just doing it because it's just, you know, a term.
so then it does make sense of why he's going after Seon and trying to destroy his life because essentially he took his life, right? So it's like he hates him. It's like you just came in, became the son. Yeah. And now you see the family never really accepted Seon, and that's why he had such a horrible upbringing, because you kind of see it
I mean,
at that awkward family dinner. Yeah.
The dad, first of all, looks like a dum-dum. I think it's his grandfather that's really running the show.
Yeah.
I think the dad is just, he's pathetic. Like, he can't stand up to his own father, and he resents Seon because he needs a son, but at the same time, his real son turned out to be cuckoo. Like, again, this is our prediction, right?
And that's also why the mother hates the grandfather, her father-in-law,
Exactly.
because he essentially probably was the one that said, you got to get rid of this son.
You got to lock up this crazy one and snatch the next one from the orphanage and make it happen.
Yeah.
We're not going to be a family that's talked about.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so his dad is really nothing special. He pays way too much attention to Heeju's mom, because Heeju's mom is out here thinking she's, you know, a young thing in her 20s.
Yeah.
Did you see that outfit she wore for the golfing?
Yeah.
But I like how his mom put her in her place, and she was like, why are you struggling to look so young?
Yeah.
Like,
just
let it go. Just age gracefully.
Yeah.
But yeah, his dad is all over her though all the time.
Yeah, it's
and
very awkward.
Heeju's husband doesn't, like, not Heeju's husband, sorry. Heeju's dad doesn't really care that this guy's like practically drooling over his wife all the time. I think he kind of likes it.
And let's be real, did he really marry her because that was the love of his life too?
No, of course not.
She was more
just a trophy wife.
Yeah, a trophy wife, you know? It's like, that's why I married her. You know what I mean? She's hot. Like, he doesn't care.
Oh my God, that's horrible. Can we talk about the sister coming back? All of a sudden, like, had a surgery, no longer deaf.
Failed to tell Heeju that. Yeah.
Just tap, tap, I'm back, let's hang out.
So she got the surgery as
while
an
she
adult.
was gone the past 3 years. Okay.
Yeah. And just failed to tell her sister. That's what it seemed
like to me anyways.
But at the same time, do they have a close relationship? I didn't gather that they did.
And I don't trust the sister at all, because you knew your sister was pretending to be mute because she felt bad for you. And they felt like she could, like, just because you had a disability, she had to all of a sudden have a disability too. And the fact that she used her as like her mouthpiece, because remember, even as kids, when Seon was tutoring her, he was like, why hasn't she learned sign language? Why isn't she trying to communicate with people? Why are you doing this for her?
Yeah.
So he essentially turned her into her help.
Yeah. And that's why
she resents her.
I don't think they ever really had a close relationship anyway. So Heeju being surprised that she didn't tell her, it's like, come on.
But she's also coming back as if like, oh, I forgive you. It's all good. You know, I'm fixed now.
Forgive her for
Let's
what?
Forget exactly. Yeah. And I'm so happy that Heeju had the balls right then and there. Didn't even need time to process and say, like, just because you're good, I'm supposed to be good. Like, you knew this entire time that I basically stopped talking for you. Yeah. And now, just because, you know, at the snap of your fingers, I'm supposed to act like everything is great, I decide when I want to start talking again. I thought that was very brave of her, and kind of shows you that maybe all the things that Seon has been saying to her was like, people underestimate you. You need to be stronger. You need to stand up for yourself. You know, you need to really,
I'm happy
like,
that
fight.
She's finally,
I felt like that was the first
finally
time.
finding her voice.
There we go.
Love that for her.
Love that for you. But it just, yeah, like you could see that like she's slowly changing, and I thought that was a great way to show that her character is growing. Like right then and there, she was able to give it back to her sister. I don't like the sister because she was kind of creepy. You see how she was creeping on them when they were shopping that day that she ran into them? I was like, she appears to be nice, but you could see that she was resenting the fact that they appeared close. Yeah. And Sam was looking at her lovingly.
That's what I also want to know. And I'm like, what her role is going to be coming back
She's
now
here to
as well.
Stir shit up.
Yeah, obviously.
Because remember when she ran out of the aquarium, she texted her and she was like, I needed to tell you something anyways. Do you really think this guy has good intentions for you? Like, you really don't know who Seon is.
People keep saying you don't really know Seon. Do you think what they mean is
that he's a fake kid?
Yeah.
I think so.
That he's adopted.
That's what I'm running with.
Yeah. Me too. That's what I think. That's what they mean. Because what else other than that? Yeah.
No, for sure. Like, I
think he will eventually tell her himself. I feel like.
I think so too.
Seon will tell Heeju.
I think so too. I appreciate.
Let's just start talking about that damn phone needs to go. Like the blackmailing phone.
It's not working.
I'm over it.
It's not working. Okay, this is why. Like, I understand where you. What you mean by when you're like, it's a silly show now, because I thought for a fact we were all so very stressed out at the episode where she was on the rooftop. He's on the phone, literally. He sees her. He sees her on the phone. Yes. At this point, he already sees the CCTV, the dash cam footage from the cop car. He knows Heeju can talk.
Yeah.
And now he sees the phone up, and we're right back. Just when I'm thinking he's about to figure it out, they take a step back, and somehow it's a misunderstanding.
Yeah.
No, like.
And what makes it funny is, like, even at an event, Heeju, like, you guys are at an event.
She always picks the wrong time to call.
Yeah. And you're like, let me go to the rooftop and ask some questions. You know what I mean? Like, right now, and he's in the event. So, he's busy. He's probably talking to people. It's like, why now, Heeju? And then he catches her, phone to her ear. He says, what are you doing? Because you're deaf. What?
Why was the phone at your ear?
And then
I'm like, yes, you're about to dig deeper.
Then she takes the phone, quickly puts it into her bag, and puts it behind her back.
And first of all, mind you, her phone is big and white and has that tassel on it.
Yeah.
And now she has this military, thick-cased black phone to her ear. You can't figure out, like, that's not her everyday phone?
Yeah. And the way she quickly put it in her bag and put the bag behind her back, how suspicious is that? Like I was like, it's right there.
And we're supposed to believe he's so sharp.
Yeah.
And so quick. So dumb. So dumb. And then when the car was about to run him over, fully yells out his name, pretends like he didn't hear it.
Yeah. Even that. A car is about to hit you. and you're looking it didn't even make sense. And then she ran and pushed him out of the way.
Yeah.
But
and all he
even
could say
that
was
foolish.
You're
and
strong.
Then they end up falling on each other. First of all, they have fallen on each other like 10 million times. What is that about? Have you noticed that?
I did.
I'm like, what is this?
You know what's hilarious to me? The one where he comes home drunk and she helps him stumble in, and then they miraculously fall again, but this time their lips perfectly aligned. I'm like, nobody busted their teeth here?
Mind you. And then she stayed there in that position.
And thought about it. This feels nice. I mean, I don't blame her. I'd stay there too.
And then fell asleep in his arms on the floor.
That's what I was saying.
How did that accidentally happen?
Go to your bed?
And how did that accidentally happen? And then in the morning, you guys woke up like, oh, get off of me. Like,
no, but she was touched because we find out at the very end of episode 6 that she was like, what were your feelings for me and such? And he was like, I like you. So I think she was so touched by that she decided to like sleep on the ground.
But then acted like in the morning, like, oh, like it was by accident. Just foolishness. I'm telling you, though.
You know what? You thought it was going to be like a true thriller, you know? And now I'm like, oh my God, it is your standard rom-com. And they just wrapped it up with this really interesting kidnapping story, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's doing what K-dramas do. I'm not surprised. It's super cheesy at times, but I'm here for it.
No, and even the things of like, okay, let's be real. a blackmailer's calling you, and the questions she's asking are, first of all, ridiculous. Like,
She's not good
she
at this
literally
job.
asked him, when your fiance disappeared, how did you feel about marrying? Like, just the questions and the fact that he's actually answering. Why would you answer a blackmailer in depth like that? Like, it doesn't make sense.
I think he's figured out at this point it's her, because the voice recording was like 99.9% match, right? But what I found so ridiculous was when she fell off the cliff. No, when she was pushed off the cliff.
Yeah, then we find out she's pushed. Yeah.
When she was pushed off the cliff and she's deciding to call him. And he's playing along like, I don't know, it's you.
Because he literally says, Hiju, I mean 406.
Yeah.
And even that, you mean to tell me you don't have your regular phone on you, but you have the blackmailer
No. She did have, she did have her phone. It was just all busted. But the blackmailer's phone, the kidnapper's phone, was not busted because it was in her backpack. It survived the fall.
Okay. First of all, how did she survive the fall?
How did
even
she?
That, even that. Did you see how high they were?
You're like, forget the phone.
Did you see how high they were?
I know.
I'm like, no one would survive that.
Hey, listen. Okay, this is a soap opera.
I mean, I get it. It's a hero.
All right.
But
we got to be all in. We got to be all in here.
We are.
But that conversation, you're right. Before we even address the conversation, how did she survive that fall?
Yeah.
We know. It's fine.
And then he says, Hiju, I mean 406.
I know. And is Hiju cold?
Yeah.
Can Hiju get the flare?
I can't.
406, you want us to find her corpse, right? And then, I mean, it's on speaker this entire time. Yeah. My girl is bawling.
First of all, why
the kidnapper's crying?
So the blackmail phone doesn't pick up crying? Because that wasn't the first time she's cried.
Exactly.
She's cried many times while she's using that phone, and it's like, not once did he say, "Why are you crying? You're a black man." Like, you know, it's just
like, man up.
Yeah,
be tough.
I'm
like she's not menacing at all. You're right. This phone needs to go.
This phone needs to go.
I think it's gonna disappear at this point.
They're both playing on this phone, and I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm over that. Like I said, I'm.
Sorry, I just remembered. What were you saying about the way he was running when the flare went off?
Yeah. What was that? I just.
The whole talking through the flare threw me off, and I was like, "Oh dear God!"
Talking through the flare. Is this where
we're at now? Is this where we're at? Oh God!
I think that's why I'm shocked, because I never thought this show would end up being like this. This cheesy.
I'm enjoying it though. I'm enjoying it.
Don't get me wrong.
It's
hilarious. It's hilarious to me now, but yeah.
No, there was another part too. I'm really liking the relationship that's developing between him and the manager he never used to pay attention to.
Yeah,
and he's asking like, "Are you always like that with your wife?" And asking him for like how to be affectionate. And
you know what's hilarious? Him doing the hand heart with a straight face. I'm like, what?
The way his hand was even struggling to just leave his side and make that half the heart. I was like, this man is seriously a robot.
Yeah, this poor guy has not laughed or felt joy a day in his life.
And that's what I'm enjoying about this.
Him coming out of his shell.
He gets jealous. The fact that like, the other interpreter that got hired with Hiju, that was sitting next to him on the bus, the way he was like, I'd like to sit here. But he can't really say that when he hugged her and like spun her around.
Yeah, it just jumped out of him.
But you know what my favorite part was about the retreat? When he was giving her that pep talk and he was coaching her, and he was like, he looked so competitive, and he was like, you know what? It's just, you got to time it. It's all about timing the jump rope. And then the minute he gets in there, it stops.
Yeah.
Literally at one. And she was like, you know what? Enough is enough. I got this.
And she was there and she killed it.
I thought that was really cute. And I'm like, that's why I can live with the cheesiness, because it's actually cute how they're coming together. And I'm like, these people do realize like they're, somebody's threatening their lives here.
Yeah.
There's a whole mystery we got to figure out. There's a bunch of stuff going
on. I'm glued, because there's so many things that I want answers to. Like I said, what is the sister going to do now that she's back?
Right.
Sang-woo, I need to figure out what's really going on with him. How is he connected other than being in the orphanage? I do believe there's a deeper story there.
And yeah, Seon, I think he's gonna try. Like he literally said, I'm gonna be more affectionate. I'm gonna be there. I'd never want you to make this kind of phone call again.
Yeah.
He's fully accepted that, like, that's her. He knows. And I like the fact that he doesn't want to admit that he knows it's her.
Yeah.
But can we talk about one thing? I was like, I really appreciate the acting. But when they were shopping,
Yeah.
and she picked that black and white dress over the blue one, and then he looked at her and I was like, this is top tier acting because that dress is hideous.
The black one?
The black and white one.
I thought it was cute.
What?
What
Are
do
you
mean?
serious? Are you serious?
No, but I understand what she meant. That is more so her style, though, than more so than the blue one. I
yeah,
get
but
it.
when she came out and
No,
he
the
laid
white and
eyes
black one
on
was
her
very-
and the way he was just stunned.
No, the
He
black and white was
speechless.
very elegant and simple.
It
and
looked
just,
homely. It looked like a dress like the mother of the bride should be wearing.
I don't know. I did understand. It just suited. I feel like it would suit her personality more than the blue one. The blue one gives me more like her sister when she tried it on, right? Like it gives her
But
sister.
I feel like with her coming out of her shell and being a little bit more confident, that could have worked.
Yeah.
But either way, I was just like blown away at the way that they try to make it look
Not me
like
thinking
she
it was
looked
it was a cute dress.
Well, my bad. Sorry.
like,
I
I'd
thought
wear
I thought it was hideous. Maybe if it didn't have the straps and it was just strapless, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just it looked like a weird prom dress.
No, but it was simple. It didn't have too much going on. I think that's why I liked it. But okay, so what are your theories now? That we just finished episode 6. Like I said, I'm still confused about the whole
kidnapper brother twin
thing.
That's
Yeah.
all up in the air. One thing for sure, the sister's back because she wants to fuck up a lot of things. I think she's pretending like she is all good with Heejun now that she's had surgery and she's no longer deaf. But I think it's a lie.
But my thing is, clearly she didn't want that marriage either. So,
Exactly.
So why
But
would
I think when she saw them on that shopping trip, she saw that, they had a moment.
Oh, and
I think
also-
she hates Heejun deep down.
And she thought that this marriage is going to be torture for her.
Exactly.
Yeah, but
And
now
she
that
saw
she
the
sees,
warmth.
oh my God, she warmed up to him. They actually have some.
He's
type
warming
of
up to
relationship.
her.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if I was her and I got surgery and my hearing is back and I managed to get out of a weird arranged marriage, I wouldn't even come back.
Yeah.
Or I'd come back and not even like talk to Heejun.
But I think she came back just out of curiosity. It's like, let me see what's going on with the relationship, what's going on there. And
I think
just, now she's more intrigued to stay now that she's seen that.
Yes.
So I don't know how she's like, I can see her saying, so I'm back now to stay on. You don't have to do this anymore.
I feel like even the Heejun's mom's going to be a problem because at that dinner, that function where he stood up for her, she's like, wait a minute, did he just defend Heejun? Like, she also looks like she can't handle Heejun being happy as well, even though she's trying so hard. Oh my God, how hilarious was it when he found the lingerie?
Yeah, he's like,
and they fell yet again.
I'm telling you, these people.
I knew you would like
I don't know why I keep catching this, but they've
How many times have they fallen now?
Yeah,
literally on the same bed. At this point, I'm like, guys,
can you guys just do it already?
Exactly.
Because I'm tired.
The tension's too much. We're over it. Like, just do it. Get it out of your system. Bang it out. Let it go.
Yeah.
No, but I thought that was hilarious. And right then and there, I thought he was going to put it together that were.
Oh my God, me too.
Was the picture.
Yeah.
Right?
Me too. Once he says
sometimes this guy is just so slow on the uptake.
Yeah.
But we're supposed to.
That's exactly what I thought. When he pulled it out and his eyes and he's seen it, I thought I was going to be like, what the hell? And have a flashback of that picture that she sent him.
Mm-hmm.
But no, he was just curious, like, wow, she's that type of girl? Like, okay.
Is it for me? What happened? You thought she was cheating on you at one point.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden you're just cool with it?
Just a lot of, that's what I mean. This show, I can't lie, is keeping me thoroughly entertained. But
absolutely, we're getting the sexual tension. We're getting the cold to hot enemies, lovers. Yeah. They're about to team up.
Speaking of sexual tension, okay, there was a part in episode 4 when he was going down to. First of all, for some reason I didn't even know that he was going down to have dinner with his family. Mm-hmm. But when he said, he said, when he said, you haven't settled, hold on. Let me look at my notes.
What did he say? Is he talking to his dad at this point? Like that the dinner where his dad threw the
before
the
that.
cup
First of all, I
glass?
didn't even know they were going down, right? So when he said, you haven't settled from the shock yet, you'll be very tense down there. Why did my mind go somewhere else? I'm like, because the sexual tension is so crazy in this show. I'm like, what does he mean by that?
Wow, get your mind out of the gutter.
And then it was like, oh,
Girl,
okay, he means downstairs at the dinner.
No.
I'm like, okay.
Why would you need to calm down?
I don't know. And like, what do you mean it's going to be tense down there?
No,
you guys don't even do it.
You know what? I think they fell on top of each other one too many times for you. And you're like, get it over and done with. I don't care.
No, the sexual tension is
How
crazy.
did your mind even race there? Okay.
I don't know. But that's
That
what I
is
mean.
insane.
This show is just...
How
I
many
cackled
more
at myself.
How many more times? How many episodes do we have? So we're only at episode 6
We have 6
now.
more episodes.
Okay, we have 10 more episodes left. No, wait. This is a 12 episode show, right?
Yeah.
Okay. We have 6 more episodes left.
Yeah.
How many more times do you think they're going to fall on top of each other?
Probably 20 more times, to be honest. Like,
Well, I'm looking forward to each and every one of them.
I am. I cannot wait to see how all of this unfolds because, yeah.
Right. Thank you so much for joining us. That is our episode for today. If you guys are enjoying the lovely shenanigans that is when the phone rings, let us know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to rate, follow, and send us a review. Bye.
Bye.